My name is Jacob Bowers, and this is a video tutorial on how to use the Start Here page on Dollars and Hours. To start off, if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and name your record book. I always like to start off with the last name first, and then your first name. I like to leave dollars and hours in there, so that way it's easy to search in Google Drive later. I'll go ahead and put the record book year, 1920. And then also, which record book is this? Is this your first record book? Is this your second record book? I'm going to go ahead and put first year. We're going to pretend that the scenario that we have today is a freshman ag student. The next thing I want to point out is we have these video tutorials that are in the, they're in red. They should be on each and every single page to kind of walk you through on how to use those actual pages. Go ahead and fill out your general information. You can see that I pre-filled a lot of this out just for the sake of time. Some things that are good to know: your school PO, that's just the town that your school is in. Your FFA chapter, that's specific per chapter. And then your FFA chapter ID, that's something that you're going to get from your instructor that is specific per school. And then your membership ID is also something you'll need to get from your instructor. A little tutorial about this page too that I want to add in is you'll see that there's these black triangles on cells sometimes. These are just notes to kind of help you figure out what do I actually put into that cell and to actually help you fill out information. So for instance, on this one it says to go ahead and insert a quality school photo. So we're going to do just that. We're going to click on the cell, go to Insert, Image, Image in Cell. You can see that we have a variety of options, anywhere from pulling from your computer. You can take a snapshot of something, or you can go ahead and pull from your Google photo albums. You can even search for different names in there as well. When selecting a profile picture, you want to make sure it's a nice profile picture that actually shows your face, and also make sure that if possible, make sure that it's something that actually relates to your SAE as well. Awesome, so you can see that popped up there. As we scroll down, we can see that there's the enter the beginning date and the closing date of the record book. Work with your instructor to figure out what that is for you. For a freshman in ag class with me, usually we start off the records on September 1 of their freshman year, and then go through December 31st of their sophomore year. However, after that, we'll just run a fiscal year after that, so we'll run January 1 through December 31st for every year after that. You get a little extra time as a freshman. I've preset the next section up, but you can identify up to 8 separate projects. You don't have to identify 8 by any means. You might only have 1, you might have 2, but just for demonstration purposes, I've selected 8 different SAE projects to record data on. You can see I have an entrepreneurship, a placement, foundational, and agri-science. You may only have a foundational, you may have a foundational and a placement. For my chapter, I know that we really push to make sure everyone at least has a foundational SAE and hopefully move into that placement or entrepreneurship or agri-science categories later. Make sure that you have a name that actually represents what's going on in that SAE. So we have Squirm and Herman's Worm Farm. This is an entrepreneurship project for Jim Shorts, where he's actually raising night crawlers for resale for your fishermen. Looks like Jim also works at Lake Red Rock Marina. I'm going to guess that he works on engines, brings in boats, does some other things at the marina for maintenance. Jim's foundational SAE is just career exploration, so he's going to be taking some time during this record book year to do some exploring of careers through job shadows, talking with different people that have careers that he might find interesting, etc. And then we have your agri-science or your research-based SAE. So for this one, we have mealworm powder, a sustainability. We should make that sustainable protein. Make sure that you use correct English as well. Next up, percent ownership. We have 100% listed for each of these. really, for your placement, foundational, and agri-science, 100% is likely what that's going to be. So make sure that you leave it there. How I like to look at that is when Jim works at Lake Red Rock Marina and the marina actually pays him, he gets 100% of his paycheck. So he's not getting 50%, he's not getting 0%, he's getting 100. However, maybe with Squirm and Herman's worm farm, maybe Jim's best friend Joe actually owns half that business, and that's where you would actually end up putting in 50% or whatever number makes sense. So maybe, or whatever else. Next, we'll go ahead and scroll down. There's some additional information for you to fill out. I feel like a lot of this is fairly self-explainable, but make sure that you're filling out that information for the additional. State fair interest, this is not a commitment. This is more of just to figure out what you're interested in. We have, if you click on the drop-down box, you can see there's a variety of different options for you to actually choose from for the state fair. So you can see that Jim Shorts has selected ag demonstration, ag mechanics, and maybe even that premier exhibitor contest as possible things that he'd like to participate in at the Iowa State Fair. And then FFA talent. This is for those band, choir, color guard, or people that just have general talent. Maybe you're a dancer or whatever else. But just to kind of let us know for state FFA convention, these are 4 things that are talent-based that you might be able to plan for or that you can go ahead and participate in for your chapter. The last part is actually entering in your starting accounts payable, your starting cash on hand, checking and savings. Go ahead and enter in how much money do you have in your wallet, what do you have in your checking and savings accounts. That's really what we're going to want to put in this first box. And you can see that the next box actually auto-calculates for you. And I have a formula running in there that will actually figure out your last day based on your income and expense entries throughout the document. If you have any questions about how to use the Start Here page, or if there was something that was incorrect, make sure that you refer back to your instructor. It's kind of their responsibility to make sure that you're using this correctly. Thank you.